They know. Yeah.
What up, you guys? We are here doing another podcast with brothers from different mothers. To my right, I have here.
It's Taz. What's going on, y'all?
And to my left, I have.
It's Cam out here, man. What's going on, yo?
And to my other left.
It's Todd. How everybody doing out there?
And right about now, we have a special guest here.
Sir.
All the way from Chicago,
Shout-out-town.
Illinois.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Windy City.
Mr.
Ron Burrell.
All right. How you doing, sir?
Welcome, sir.
Hey man, all is well. How you guys doing today?
Doing
We
good.
doing good.
Bless,
All is
bless.
well.
Like
Blessed. That's usually what we say
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Blessed and highly favored.
all the time.
Y'all all brothers from another mother, but it seems like we have two brothers from the same mother in the same place. Right.
All day long. So how was your trip on down?
Say man, it was easy breezy on the highway.
That's
Had no
good.
problem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No accidents, no slowdowns. That's good, especially coming from Chicago.
Smooth
Man.
sailing.
Yeah, I look at it. It's like anybody that make it from Chicago. It's a blessing.
You gonna start, huh?
Right.
That's what get it going.
But just let me say, everybody didn't run from Chicago to get down here.
Come on. Come on now.
Say it again.
Come on now.
Say it again.
Now what? Mr. Milwaukee,
Yeah, I'm Milwaukee, born and raised, Brew City.
home of
That's how
the,
we roll.
of the brew,
The brew.
Milwaukee best.
Not the Milwaukee best.
Well, that's all right. You could probably got to be the only one that's born and raised.
They got that's my city forever.
Everybody else had migrated. Migrated, took refuge, whatever case you may want to call it.
If you ain't going there, you running from there.
Man, look.
Tell me about it.
So we got a few things that that's on the plate that I want to discuss, get everybody thoughts on. Just remember that what we discuss here, we definitely want y'all to make a comment about it.
Definitely.
We're gonna get to as many as we can and try to include some in if some of them are interesting. But we want to talk a little bit about this Derrick Jackson thing. Now I know that it's kind of been dominating the entertainment world, and I know everybody got their own opinions about it, but I just want to open up discussion about what's going on. For those who don't know about the situation, Derrick Jackson is known as this Christian relationship guru, and I guess it came out that he has some extramarital affairs, and he did this video where he had his wife on there. They were he was holding her hand.
Yeah,
too.
you saw
It
it.
was really tight.
This
Super
was
tight.
the blood flow out of that.
Hey, he was just making sure she didn't slip out her chair and
Yeah,
fall.
okay.
He was making sure he was holding her down.
So
That's what it
the easy discussion about this is about the affair that he had. A discussion I would like to talk about is just the advice he gives and whether that should be discredited because of his actions.
And I'm sorry to cut you off. I wouldn't say it was more the advice he gives, but like you said, you can do the worst things and give good advice. But it's the person you're trying to portray yourself to be. And if you're being hypocritical to that image that you're trying to portray to everyone, you know what I mean? That's what I was thinking. You know what I'm saying? So
Go ahead.
The advice is like you can take it or you can just leave it there. You know what I mean? Like he did wrong. You see he did wrong. If you want to take his advice, if it's your advantage to take it and it works best for you, take it. Despite what he did.
And that's what I agree. I agree with that assessment. Like, if you using the advice and it has benefited your life, it doesn't really matter where the advice comes from. I think too often we look at the people and see that they have flaws, just like we all do, which is why we're listening to this advice in the first place. Right. And see that he or she has flaws, and then want to discredit like all the advice that they've given. Doesn't really matter if it helped your life.
Right.
Like, take
Despite
it.
what he did, it was wrong what he did, but
Keep it. Keith, you got an opinion on it?
to each his
You
own.
know he got an opinion on it. What don't he got an opinion on? No, I'm just joking.
I've been trying to, keep mine to myself because, like I explained before in our pre-discussions, it's just the fact that we don't know what happened as far as what that gentleman did, and that's his business. I don't know why it was made to be a huge issue. I understand people looked up to him for advice about relationships. But like he said before, he didn't ask for that. Even though that platform was given to him, and even though he knew that platform was there, he continued with it. But what happened was something that was done in the past. And regardless if it was done in the past, why are we bringing it up? What difference do it make? You can take whatever you want to take from it. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to bash this guy. Why give more to the monster? Why are we feeding the monster? The monster don't make no sense. Whatever happened between him and his wife, when it happened, that's between him and his wife. That ain't none of our business.
And that's true, but I feel like when you put yourself out and want to become some kind of, social media influencer or something like that, you open up your home to these people. You know what I mean? You open up your relationship. Like us, you know what I'm saying? We're starting this. We're going to get feedback, positive feedback, negative feedback, but we're opening up that lane for people to comment on things we do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So he's doing that same thing. So when stuff like this comes out, and I don't know how he reacted to it, but he can't get mad because nobody said, hey, you have to do this. You wanted to do this, you give good advice, whether it's good advice, bad advice, I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But you chose, like you said, to keep on doing this. And like I said, I don't think you should discredit his advice because just because he, whatever he did, don't make his advice bad, like you said. But I feel like it's the image you're trying to portray. If you try to portray yourself to be this perfect individual, and I don't know if he has, because I didn't hear him before this, but this the kind of backlash you get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Ron, how you feel
how
about
you feel about it?
The way that I see this, none of us sitting here is perfect.
That's right.
Everybody sitting around this table probably need a hard hat when they go in their club.
All the time.
So who are we to judge what somebody do and how they run their household and this and that? But as you said, being out here in the public's eye, it's going to make people talk critical, even if they don't have nothing to do it. But, controversy sells.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And that's what people looking for. Now, you can go back all the way back and talk about the other preacher and all that kind of stuff. This stuff go on and on when you start looking at people and what they do when they hit out here in the world out there. And once they get their camera and everything behind them, you have a bullseye on your back. Because just like you got some people that's trying to pick you up and put you on a platform, you got the other half that's trying to tear you down. And it's regardless of what you're going to, whether you're in the social world, whether you're in a political world, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
If you singing, if you done got with one singer, then you done turned around and got with another, somebody gonna always dog it out. So
Something to say,
my thing is, who are we to judge? And
All the time.
the bottom line, you giving a person a platform and you still building that individual up, even if you're talking about it.
Negative.
For that negative publicity. Negative publicity to still build publicity.
Publicity. That's right.
So I don't have a real good take on it. I mean, man, do what he got to do. If he did something wrong, if his wife or whoever stuck by him and they decide to make it work, what else can anybody else say?
Right.
There you go.
Right.
It's their business.
Derek Jackson, I mean, he does have an image. I personally, and this is just a personal opinion, I personally don't listen to Derek Jackson. I don't Derek Jackson. I don't like any of his advice. It's just not for me. I'm not saying it's not for other people out there, but I'm just a strong believer in good advice and not judging where it comes from, but seeing if you can apply it to your life. But the criticism that Derek Jackson is receiving right now, you could say is warranted because he himself has criticized another YouTube, Instagram personality by the name of Kevin Samuels. And for those who aren't familiar with Kevin Samuels, a lot of people, a lot of women call into a show, and they pretty much ask for his feedback. He gives them feedback, and it comes off really harsh. It's just his style. And a lot of people criticize him because of how harsh he comes off. But one of those people that criticized him was, in fact, Derek Jackson. And he actually put one of his feedback shows on his YouTube show.
Okay.
And he offered his feedback and also kind of hinting towards that Kevin Samuels was gay because of his comments, and asked if he even liked women. Wow. because of his comments. I personally didn't agree with what he said about that, but I want to hear y'all thoughts on that. Like, how do you feel about that?
Wow. Go ahead, Mr. Ryan.
Once again, we're going back to that negative publicity. Now, what you saying, what you don't like about this person, or what that person didn't like about the other one. Now, what they doing is still feeding back off each other. Now, for whatever it is, whether you like it or not, you put it out there. If I say I don't like something about Cameron over there and everything, now, you know what they just did is got everybody trying to look up Cameron.
That's
trying
true.
to see what Cameron is all about. Now, Cameron moving up the charge.
What you say? See, no.
So it's still negative publicity either way you look at it.
Yeah.
So like I say, we have our own views about what we do and what we don't like. I'm the individual that's sitting here. I'm going to play the devil's advocate role on everything. You give me 10 reasons why you don't like to do something. I'm going to give you 10 reasons why you should.
Right.
Right. All the time.
But see, my thing about the Kevin Samuels thing, I can't speak for the gentleman, but if I had to speculate, he was out of pocket for what he said and what he said. But the thing is with that is, sometimes when we feel attacked, we lash out, back out, and we say things that we shouldn't say. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what it is. So, again, I don't follow Derek Jackson, but I have come across him on Facebook, saw what he was talking about. If it was interesting, I looked at it. I didn't give my opinion about it. I just scrolled on past it. That was it. You know what I'm saying? So, again, we don't need to feed this monster, and the monster is basically the bad publicity, the controversy about it, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Who cares? That's that man life, because he's the only one that's going to have to deal with whatever happens.
Now, it's a thin line between feeding a monster and dissecting it. I'm trying to understand, like, how could we build a better community off situations like this? And it's not our goal to promote the negativity between Derek Jackson and his current situation with his wife and infidelity, and his situation with Kevin Samuels, but to put things in perspective. How can we benefit as a community from situations where infidelity becomes a key issue, especially for a top figure within our community? Mm-hmm. And if two people that are respected, even by two spectrums of the same community, are going head to head, how could we find a way not to allow it to divide us and learn from it and build a better community?
You build a better community by finding something more positive to focus on.
There we go.
Don't even focus on
You don't focus on the negative part. See, like I said, we talking about feeding that monster, whatever the case may be. If we still stand up here to talk about it, to continue to bring it out there, we keep it alive. The only way you're going to get rid of something and be done with it, then you get rid of it. Replace the negativity with the positive. And let's move on from there. Then instead, like I said, what can we do about that infidelity and all of that? One thing that's going to be part of life, what goes on behind another person's household or whatever, inside their household, outside, that's their business. Now, you're going to get people that's going to see it or whatever, other people want to talk about it. But you get people that do stuff, whether it's for the wrong reason and everything, we still keep it popular by keeping it in our mouths. Mm-hmm. We keep it out here, keeping it on the airwaves. You're hearing it on the radio. You're seeing it on the television. Now, have y'all heard about some people that's even playing on TV? They the most hated person on TV, but everybody tune in to watch.
There you go.
Somebody brought that up when I was speaking about it. It was like Charlemagne the God. Like people hate this man, but tune in every day.
They tune in every day to watch.
Every day.
Because I think what they're saying on the outside is opposite of what they feel like. I think everybody has this pressing need inside them. Like, man, how can I use this information that I've gotten to grow?
Right.
Like, it's just this, like, no one wants to waste time doing anything. Everybody wants to feel that what they're putting their efforts and their time in is going to help them in some shape, form, or fashion grow. Like, yeah, I was out in the streets, but I learned this. That's how I got here. You know, I was homeless. I learned this. That's how I got here. Mm-hmm. You know, Tyler Perry, he has a really good story. You know, he's a billionaire now.
Something like that.
I think he did.
He's a billionaire now, but he slept in his car. You know, everybody wants to know that any struggle that you've gone through is it for something.
Right.
And when you reach that, you never want to forget that struggle because you think it's going to be a story later on once you make it to where you going.
Well, that struggle's within yourself. We all got stories to tell. But I'm telling you, some of my best advice didn't come from the TV or the radio. Mm-hmm. It came from my very own grandmother. Mm-hmm. So it all depends on who you listen to and what you're going to take with you. But like I said, instead of focusing on the negative, let's stick strictly with the positive and keep it moving.
What's your grandmother's name? I think I may know her.
Oh, because you may be that brother from the same mother.
Oh,
But you kind of when you brought that up, you kind of made a segue into something else that's just kind of running rampant on social media, and that's cancel culture.
Oh, God.
Everybody got, you know, it's gotten to the point that if, you know, one thing happens or one thing is said, that there's just this mob of people on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, news coverage. Everybody is, hey, don't go to them.
Yeah.
Don't support them anymore.
Yeah.
And all that. And I think it's a powerful tool. I'm one of the believers in it. I do think that there are a lot of people that do abuse it. Yeah. But I think it's a powerful tool, and I think the real kicker, the real treat about the whole entire cancel culture is that it was actually started by a group that's actually being totally abused by it right now. And I cancel culture itself, a lot of you who, I don't know who, unless you was living under a rock, who aren't familiar with the Colin Kaepernick situation, when it was believed that he was 8-balled out the NFL because of him kneeling down during the national anthem. Mm-hmm.
But you did it yourself. You can't be talking about ties. Ties stays underneath the rock. You can't be talking about rocks like rocks are bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ties. I'm sorry. My bad.
Now, see, I'm going to take Brother Ron's advice, and I'm just going to stick strictly with the positive. I'm not going to worry about this brother over here being negative.
That's what I'm talking
about.
You know
what I love you anyway, you know?
No, but I understand what you're saying, Todd, go ahead.
Yeah, please feel free to share your thoughts. It was just that, the people had a big problem with what Colin Kaepernick did. And like now that consumers are turning their backs on these corporations who are supportive or who harvest racism or sexism or any type of ism.
Right.
And that's funny because that conversation we was having, me, BK, and Ryan last night, we were talking about the riots and stuff and how we were rioting in our own neighborhoods. We weren't going into their neighborhood. What Colin Kaepernick did was took that to their neighborhood, and they ain't like that.
Right.
Like, you ain't gonna mess up our money. You know what I mean?
Showed them the blueprint. Showed them the blueprint. Hey,
This is gonna open up a whole nother can of worms. Stuff because
You know it is.
I look at protesting and rioting as two totally different
And we
things.
said that.
Yeah,
We
okay.
said that.
Yeah, so I look at it as two totally different things, and wherever there's protest or celebration, there's usually rioting.
Right.
Like that follows. I think a lot of people who want to shed a negative light on protest would exalt or talk more about the rioting part of
And the
it.
protesting part.
Yes.
And I only said that just to say, like we were saying, usually when we're rioting or protesting, it's in our neighborhood. Or we're tearing our own stuff up, and they won't allow you to take it to their neighborhood. You know, they try to keep it, but that's what I'm saying. That's what Colin Kaepernick did. He took it to their neighborhood. You know what I mean? There's no black NFL owners. You know what I mean? So when he kneeled down and he's trying to protest, they're like, hold on, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see why it wasn't more brothers that said, you know what, we're gonna stand behind them, because they were scared of losing those contracts. But what is the higher percentage of NFL players are black? What they were gonna do?
Right.
Play without y'all? You know what I mean? So
We out here.
But do you want to take that chance when you're trying to feed your family?
Right.
I mean, and that's what I guess I would say. If you stand in unity, it's a better.
Power's in the numbers.
In the numbers. But if it's just you're right. I'm not gonna take it, because if y'all not gonna stand behind me, then while I'm out here on my butt, you know what I mean, y'all gonna still be in here running this pigskin. You know what I mean? So I definitely understand what you're saying.
Malcolm X actually made a comment about that. He actually, and I don't agree with the comment, but I understand where he was coming from. But he actually talked about, because everybody knows what Malcolm X stood for. There were some athletes that were standing with him also, and his comment was, he said, when the cause is on the other side with the other race, do you see their athletes stepping up, saying anything? It's always a community leader or a corporate organization, and things of that nature. He said we have to use our athletes to do that, and we shouldn't have to put them in a position. I mean, an athlete shouldn't have to be the only spokesperson within our community. There's some people out there that don't have that obligation and should be stepping up. Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't support at all. They definitely are making noise. LeBron James has done a lot.
Definitely so.
And that goes under.
Even though I don't like him, but you telling the truth.
He did a lot, especially like for the election year. He did a lot. He put a lot of his money in, and he continues to put more in the community and educate the community on voting and registering and things of that nature. But it shouldn't just be all on the athletes.
Right.
It should be on a lot of these blue collar workers.
And it's true. Because a lot of, like you said, the blue collar workers look at the athletes like, well, y'all ain't doing nothing. And they probably like, well, you ain't doing nothing either. Yeah. You know what I mean? So just my one voice ain't going to change nothing. You know what I mean? And they probably look at them like, oh, well, you got the masses, people looking at you. You got these millions of people. Well, what does that mean? You know what I mean? You're not going to get up and stand behind. I'm sorry.
But that's where the problem come in there. Just like you just said, what is your voice going to do? that same platform, you use your voice to talk to your friends and stuff. If you got something important, how many people you think you can reach when you sitting up here trying to gossip about this and that?
Right.
How many people you got that's listening to you? Now, if you take those few people, take them to the voting poll, let the next person take their group with them. If everybody just did their own part, you'd be surprised on how many people come together. It'll fit like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
But see, if we sitting up here, we get discouraged saying what I'm doing, what I may say is not gonna reach not gonna reach everybody. I need to get somebody else to speak for me.
Right.
But while you looking for that individual, you try to do the same for yourself. So you try to bring as many people as you're gonna do. There's one thing about protesting. I understand people protest. I have no problem with protesting. I have a problem with rioting. But like I said, those are two different things. But when they come out, they always come together and they intertwine. So
Right.
you don't know who's who. As they say, if you got two people arguing, if you got two fools arguing, how can you tell which one the fool?
You had to be there at the beginning of the
History just messed all that up with us, you know. It all started back when we was in slavery and all that, and can't go nowhere because we black. Got to eat in the back, sit in the back.
Okay, but let
go
me
through
ask
the
you
back
this.
door.
When you couldn't go nowhere, when did they stop you from eating?
Oh.
When they make you come in the back door? You didn't experience that.
I didn't.
You only going by what you heard.
Right.
So since you didn't experience then, you need to go by what you able to do. I can't go back and get stopped from what I heard that happened in the past, because then the past controls me. When I was born in this world, the way things are now. So all I know to go ahead, they let me go into the door. They let me go get an education. Now I need to take that and further that along. A lot of people get stuck listening to what happened in history. That was his story back then. What is your story?
Right.
Some people get stuck. So I think like knowing the history is extremely important. I think like with all things, we can get caught up in something, and that becomes our world, and we stay like entrapped in that, and then we can't move forward and grow. But it's important to know. It's important to know what happened in the past, because in a lot of situations, especially now, like the game really doesn't change. It's just the players.
That's all.
So if you don't know what type of game that they've been running throughout history, like how in the world you gonna be able to expect what's coming?
I know Ron, you ran across a lot of this stuff that's been going on with your 30 plus years with the department. And the thing about that, did you ever have to deal with a lot of stuff like that? You know,
Dealing
whether
with
it be
racism on the job and all that.
Yeah.
I think in every part of life you're going to run and deal with some kind of racism. But it's up to deal with yourself on how strong you are and how you persevere through the whole thing. Now, we get out here, we see the negativity in it. We see the racism in it. But just as you were saying, my brother, we have to understand our history. I have no problem after. You need to learn your history. But do not let your history cloud your future. So you move on. We know it's going to be out there, but we don't get stuck right there. We try to find a way to get around it, to overcome these obstacles, and keep on moving. You can go into your neighborhood grocery store and witness, racism. Even being back in Chicago, you see it big. I don't know how it is too much up here in Madison, because up here you have a lot more integration going on.
Still don't matter. Right. Up here, and I'm glad you said that, because I don't understand how we still come across and run into a lot of racism up here from the departments. And I'm saying departments because it's not just the police. It's not just the fire department. We used to run into it with them all. But majority of the time, the main topic up here are the police officers. And you would think, by it being such a diverse city, they would sit here and understand, hey, you're a man, that's a woman, and I'm gonna treat you as such. If you did wrong, you're wrong. If you done did right and I'm just helping you out, that's good. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good officers up here. It is. It's not all bad, but majority of the time when you run into that bad one, he make a huge stink, and he make a lot of officers look bad. You know what I'm saying? So, and you just try to deal with it, and hope not all police up here are like that, because then you get some people who tends to want to challenge the police, call them out their name, and do some of the negative things to stir up things, because they feel you can't do nothing to me. You're not going to do nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? So, they're more vocal now since all the protesting that's been going on.
So, yeah, okay. You do have some bad apples, but you're going to have bad regardless on whatever it is. Yep. But you can't let those bad apples give the good one a bad name. But trust me, it's a whole lot more good police officers out here. I did this job for 30 years. And like I tell people, you can't judge me by what somebody else did. Because that's just like me coming out there and say, all women out there is women of the streets. Because I just locked somebody up. There was one last night.
Right.
Now, if I go and tell the next person that, they get offended. They get offended for it. If I say all people out there, all men out there drug dealers, but you go to work working a 9 to 5 every day. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to be judged. So we the same way. Don't judge me for what the bad person did.
Right.
But it's hard to give that black eye, because one thing you got to realize, once you become a police officer, a teacher, anything in that field, they look at you a certain kind of way. Now just say you don't work it no more. You don't have anything to do with it, and you do something wrong. Now the ex-police officer did that, or the ex-teacher did that.
Right.
You still labeled.
Yeah.
But you damn if you do and damn if you don't.
All the time.
Talk to me, Cameron. I see something on your mind.
What you got to say, C-No?
I ain't got to say nothing too much.
I think C-No want to drink.
Is that what it is?
Like,
Probably, yeah.
yeah, we get.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, all right. So not to make a hard right off the subject, because it was a good subject.
It is.
But speaking of drinks, like, where we kicking it after the pandemic is over? Where we going? Where those who's listening and about to jump in
after the pandemic.
But after the pandemic, where can we see y'all out? What bar? What restaurant you at? Like, I want to go over some of the places that we was going to before the pandemic hit. Old school.
Not me. I stayed in.
No.
I really wasn't going too much. I mean, how far you talking about going? 'Cause right before the pandemic, I really wasn't going to many places.
But I remember places like the Silver Eagle.
Pictures pub.
What happened with
Pub.
Silver Eagle?
Red Shed.
I remember the red shit. I
don't know nothing about the red
Sure
shit.
you don't. Right. Yeah.
All those that's listening, you know about the BK Long Island.
Long Island, keep me away.
Oh my God.
But
yeah.
Where is it? Where everybody going? What's the new spots
Ain't no news.
out here?
I don't know. I think I want to go back out to that spot that we was out there in Marley's. When we was out there and we was kicking it out there when Ron came up. We went out there and we kicked it and, sat out there, had some cigars, had some drinks. Some people out there thought we were celebrities.
I think that's what people need to send. Like, hey, where can we go, smoke a good cigar, and have good traffic? Because I know we in a college town.
Do it at home. I think we did it last night.
Yeah, we definitely did. We definitely did.
wanna
We
see
had a
it.
great conversation last night over cigars and nice cognac. You know what I mean? So
I had my first Remy 1738.
38.
I'm about to say
38.
I'm about to say 1776.
Yes, sir.
Thinking about Hamilton. My bad.
Daz, what's your favorite cigar?
I don't have a favorite right now. I'm new to this, so I'm dibbling and dabbling. But Brother Ron did give me one yesterday. How you pronounce the name of that one?
The Gurkha.
The Gurkha.
The Gurkha Titan.
Very good.
But as I explained to him last night, everybody talk about, what's your favorite cigar? Well, cigars are just like wine. It's according to your palate. As I explained to him last night, I can give you a $25 cigar and it may taste straight up like grass. And give you a $4 cigar, it may be better smoke you ever had. So it goes according to your palate. You get out there and you try a little bit here and you try a little bit there. Some you're going to favor more than others. Now, me, myself, I like a medium to a full-body cigar. Don't give me no sweet cigar. I don't need nothing. Not knocking the name of it, but a Fat Bottom Betty. You know, I don't want to knock the name, but those sweet cigars, for me, a person that been smoking way before the fad caught on, it's like smoking all sugar. Now, since everybody done got into the social world of smoking cigars, which drove the prices of cigars like way up. What I spent back then for a $4, $5 stick, right now that same stick is $15 today.
Look at you, got a tired mouth over there watering. Right about now, you want a cigar so bad.
So
He's so bad, he want to stick something in his mouth so bad.
I was
Anyway,
finna say something, but we got a little feedback last week. But what I'm gonna say,
I'm sorry, but I owed him that, you guys. I owe
what I'm
him
gonna
that.
say is, like Ron was saying, whatever your flavor is, whatever your palate, whatever you like, it doesn't mean that you know nothing about it. You might like that kind of cigar.
This guy here.
BK likes a sweet cigar.
I knew he was going to say something.
I'm just.
He think he's a cigar connoisseur, you guys.
First of all, no, just joking.
I haven't met a bad one. I haven't tasted a bad cigar as of yet. So I'm just at that stage where I just like, what are you smoking on? Let me try that.
Yeah.
Let me try that.
And that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, he could be crack. He does not care just what you smoking on. He want to try it.
Why you keep going there? Anyway. So,
I
man,
owe Ty, you know this.
look, bro, can we get into some sports talk real quick, man? I know we limited on time, but come on. Let's get into some sports talk. I hear...
We talking about them raggedy Milwaukee?
No,
Milwaukee
they
team?
ain't been the talk of the town. I heard when we were talking, the Bulls signed...
So the Bulls made a trade.
Who that Vucevic?
They got Vucevic from Orlando Magic. Vucevic is a legit center, yeah, from the Orlando Magic. I guess this will make some of you happy.
I don't mean to, say anything yet, but I just want to bid Mr. Ron Burrell adieu.
Yo, brother.
My brother from the same mother. He got to get up out of here, got to do big things. That's how big people do. You know what I'm saying? They do big things. So, Ron, I am so happy that you came on the show.
Man,
Say, man, I truly enjoyed you guys. I had fun at this little round table.
Yes,
this
sir.
L-shaped
Yes,
table. No, you know what?
Little
Really,
L table.
it's set up in a T, so this little T top.
We
I really enjoyed you, fellas. I would definitely be back to do it again.
That's
I
what I'm
got
talking
another
about.
engagement
I
that I
was
need
just
to
about
get
to
out here
ask
and
that.
run to.
Yeah.
So I want you guys to continue to do what you're doing. You guys doing good things, and I look forward to be sitting down to talk with you guys again.
Definitely.
Y'all take care. Much love.
All right,
You
now.
too, brother.
Take care. Now back to you, Todd.
right,
just
bro.
joking.
Love you, brother.
Right.
Oh, definitely.
Isaac, pull up.
Love you, bro.
Yes, sir.
to you,
We
all.
love you, brother. We love you. Love you. Pull up a seat, young brother. You know what I'm saying? With
Ladies
the
and gentlemen, I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce this brother over here.
man, well, we got two more special guests in the building. Little bros to big ties. You know what I mean? We got my brother Isaac over
Did
here.
y'all hear that? Big ties. Hear it?
And then we got little bro Isaiah over here, man. They joining us today, man. Welcome to the
Welcome,
podcast.
you guys. Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, that's enough. No.
Yeah, that's it now. So yeah, let's get to it, man. Vucevic.
I mean, I think the only thing that y'all would really like about him is that he is one of the players that's kind of like a buck killer. Like, every time we play Orlando Magic, he pulls up a lot of points against us. So for him to be on the Bulls, I would feel a little bit threatened if the Bulls had a better team around him.
Oh, gee.
But
We all right.
I think y'all still a few years away from being a consistent bottom feeder in the playoffs.
I mean, all right. I guess
Oh, that's tilapia.
coming from the Milwaukee Bucks, who comes
Third
with
in
the
the
Greek
East.
freak,
Third in the East.
but still can't take a title. You know what I mean? And I mean, everybody know the Greek freak, awesome player. You know what I mean? So I think, man, I look forward to it this year. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't been watching a lot of basketball.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, because
They're bad.
they discriminate against us in
got no
Wisconsin.
You didn't get down to the Walmart with that stimulus check. Wow. Wow, this cat muted me, you guys.
Well, you was sitting around here fondling with candy wrappers. You know what I mean?
Why you gotta say fondling and everything? I was not fondling with anything,
Look,
sir.
Look, brother.
Actually, fundamentally. But how you feeling about that? Do y'all get into basketball like that? How you feeling about that?
I don't even
Nah.
watch sports no more, man.
Not much.
No.
Not much. Well, I can tell y'all that the Bulls are bad. They've been bad for a while. Not as bad as the Bears, but bad.
Come mute them.
But bad. But
Right.
Nobody trying to hear what he's talking
the
about.
trade
Hold on.
itself, the trade itself was good. It was a good trade.
Is he the only Wisconsin team?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
We are all Chicago,
I am,
Wisconsin.
I am comfortable in my own skin, considering that we are in Wisconsin shooting this.
And it's funny, I get more compliments on my Bears and Bulls stuff than I ever hear anybody talk about Bucks. Packers.
People like red and blue,
No, they're like
kind of like an American
that
thing.
Bears thing.
What is you doing?
Oh, Bulls, go Bulls.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I was just, he was talking and I didn't want to hear that crap, so I thought I was smacked.
This guy. This guy. Yeah, man. And I know Todd wanted to touch on and I'm sorry, I'm taking it hard right too, on the Asian community, the racism and stuff.
Yeah, what's going on with that? I keep hearing about it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about the racism that the Asian community has been enduring, especially like during the end of Donald Trump's presidency, when he was associating the coronavirus to China. He was calling it the China virus, just pretty much causing an uproar within the United States, and kind of promoting a whole lot of racism towards the Asian community, and even those who resemble people of Asian descent. We had a very, very deep conversation about racism, and it kind of led into cancel culture, where there were comedians out there like Jay Leno has gone on record and apologized for all the things that he said about the Asian community. And there was some talk that comedians should get a pass. And I think there's levels to this. I seriously think it's levels to this, simply because that if your language, regardless of what occupation you have, if your language leads to the discrimination or death or abuse of a community, of a race, I don't think it should be allowed, regardless of what occupation you have.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with the comedian thing, I feel like they've been doing comedy, I mean, years before we all were born, and they've always hit the hard subjects, and that's what they do. I feel like we always need to find humor in every situation, which we laugh about a lot of stuff, but we're also serious at the same time. And I just feel like we were saying, that's the sensitive part of today is like, oh my God, he did not joke about that. Like, it's a joke. You know what I mean? We were saying, what, yo mama jokes back in the day. You know what I mean? And
Some head
you know,
thing.
yeah, you know, I mean, I just feel like the world has gotten really sensitive.
Cameron, your mama's so big. When she jumped in the air, she got stuck.
Okay.
Whatever.
Your mom, no. Your mom's upstairs. I love your mom.
Right.
No, I'm good.
But I just feel like, you know, I do feel like comedians.
You know I love Miss Carrie to death, so don't even try.
Can I finish my statement?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Cameron started it.
I ain't starting nothing.
I'm about to cancel you. But I do feel like comedians do have, I guess, that quote unquote pass, you know what I mean, to talk, because it brings laughter, and with laughter comes healing. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
I don't feel like they should have to be muted or
Censored.
You know what I mean? So that's just my feeling, and it's not to say that, you know, what's going on with the Asian community or whatever they're joking about, whether it's a joke about the LGBT plus community, LQ,
He don't even know what he's
I don't
talking
know how
about,
to
folks.
say it.
I'm sorry.
but LGBTQ plus community.
LGBT.
You know what I mean?
Listen to him do it again.
No.
Okay.
But I do feel like, you know, they shouldn't be criticized for that, because that's what they do. And we all know it. You know what I mean? So
They know.
um
No.
No, I think just the times is different.
It is.
From back then, and just like with any comedian, like you can't use the same jokes that you did off Russell Simmons' Def Comedy Jam to like now. Like a lot of that stuff wouldn't fly, and a lot of things have changed. And most importantly, when we're talking about the Asian community, especially what they have gone through, like if you were a comedian, you did a set, and you started talking about the Asian community, I'm almost certain that it's probably not. It's gonna fall flat. It's not gonna be as funny based off what's been happening now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we kind of disagree with you,
yeah.
bro.
If it's funny, I'm
It depends
gonna
on what comedian
cry
say it.
laughing.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got, God, I cannot remember this Asian comedian. He's a young guy, and he been on the scene, and he been killing it lately. And he talks about Asian. I mean, and he talks hard about him. I wish I remember his name, but
But he's Asian.
yeah,
I
he's
think-
Asian.
I
He
mean,
talked
can do
about
that.
Asian.
But I mean, I don't think it has to. I don't think only Asians can only joke about Asians, or blacks can
Right,
only joke.
right.
About
Right.
They can joke about whatever it is, because
It's all joke.
what's the white comedian that has the black wife? I cannot think of his name.
You talking about
I can't think, but the dude is hilarious.
Owen.
Is it?
yeah, Owens. But bad news, they're about to get a divorce.
Well, that's his fault. But
Gary Owens.
Gary Owen.
Owen.
The dude is hilarious, and he talks about, the black community, I go in this. Dude is hilarious. Do I take offense to anything he said? No, he's a comedian. You know what I mean?
But that's just like one of the. I think I brought it up when we were discussing, and I was saying something about the Shaq. That Shaq roast for Emmitt
Roast
Smith.
of Emmitt Smith.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the white got on there, and he was clowning black folks. And Monique, I forgot his name. I know his name, but he was clowning black folks, and everybody was rolling. I mean, because no one took it personal,
Right.
and the cameraman, he panned on the black people. Black people was like,
Right.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. But the guy was funny, and Monique
Ross.
was like, huh?
Jeff Ross.
Yep, that's his name, Jeff Ross. And Monique was like, all right, Jeff, keep that shit down there, Jeff. Keep that shit down there.
I remember.
Don't bring it down here. But the whole thing, it was hilarious. I mean, you know, he talked about everybody. He talked about people that wasn't there. And the first thing he said was, wait a minute. Everybody was like, ooh, and he was like, what?
But see, like
Is
I
he
said,
here?
It's levels to it. So, like Jeff Ross was talking about some of the everyday habits. He was playing off the everyday habits of a lot of stuff that African Americans can relate to.
Bro, the stuff that he was saying.
If you do a set and talk about how Asians look when they fall after they've been robbed or something like that, like there are some comedians out there that take it to that level. I'm saying that in this climate right now, there, like anything that plays off that is not acceptable.
You're being too damn sensitive
yeah, I
now.
don't
That would be
It's not
bad
being
though.
sensitive.
But how is that bad?
Why not?
I think it'd be bad if what Todd just said, if you joke about how they just fell after they got robbed and beat up.
That's what they do. They joke about it. I think.
But
if you
that's
make it
after
funny
they. But
enough-
I'm guaranteed it wouldn't be something that
I
they would
wouldn't
happen to do at that moment. It would be a little time
Right.
to
in
get
between.
over it.
Right.
It wouldn't be something that I'd be like, oh, you
like
failed.
this just happened. I'm about to get on
Right.
stage right now.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
It give them time to heal a little bit, but you know, I'm quite sure they will make sure you good. Okay, you're all right. Okay, cool. Well, you know what I'm saying?
It's like the
Yes.
saying, like us. Like, hey, if Cam walked over there and he tripped and busted his ass, it'd be like, Cam, you good? Boy, you almost put a hole in BK. You know what I mean? You know, like,
I guess.
Oh, you don't even
I
try.
guess.
We gonna make sure you
I
all
just-
right.
I
Right.
don't-
Nah, I
I
ain't
don't-
talking about me.
I don't agree with that.
'Cause I ain't gonna
I just
fall.
don't agree with that.
Oh,
And
time
it's-
out, time out. Excuse me. You the last person because you contradicting yourself. Because there's been plenty of times I done did something and you've been like, you all good? And then the next minute you coming with your
It's not
joke.
the same thing.
I think
Not the same thing.
I think it is.
Not the same thing.
I understand
If
you talking
people-
about the severity of the
if
things.
if there is a climate that's created where Asian Americans are losing their lives, I wouldn't joke about that.
It's bad.
I don't joke about a dead homie. I don't joke about any of that stuff. Like that's what I'm saying is levels to this.
And I
if
understand
you're just talking
that.
about like if you're talking about things that Asian Americans can relate to with like if they go to eat at a family reunion, that's something totally different than talking about something that has anything to do with stereotypes on the negative spectrum, not a positive, on the negative spectrum, regardless of what occupation you have, comedian or a philosopher, it doesn't really matter. None of that matters. It's right now they're dying out on the streets because of something that the president of the United States doing. He was the beginning of it.
Okay, but see, I understand what you're
created
saying
a
when you
climate.
saying stuff like that. When you talk again, that's just like what I said. I understand when you're talking about the severity of things. I understand if you're talking about something, especially when we're talking about death. Death is not a funny thing at all. You know what I'm saying? I just lost a nephew. He shot himself. You know what I'm saying? And that's not funny at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't think at any time, at any place, it would be funny. You know what I'm saying? But the fact is, again, it's just about the severity of the comments and the jokes and stuff. But if we talking about other things that, if he a Chinese person or he's married to a Chinese person and everything, I'll be like, dude, I'm not coming over there. I don't want no Chinese food tonight. Look, give me something black or give me something Jamaican or anything. I'm just saying it's all about the severity. And that's come down to respect. See, we going on different levels now. Now we talking about
I said it
severity,
multiple
respect.
times. There's levels to this.
But I understand that. But when he was talking about, you know what I'm saying, as far as bringing stuff up, like, you know, to make laughter, bring healing, that's what he's talking about. And I understand what he's saying. Something that don't have to go to the extent that we talking to the extreme as far as talking about anything that's involving death. You know what I'm saying? Or anybody true heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. I don't think anybody would doing that. You know what I'm saying? But again, you do have comedians that take it to that level, and it's not really all that bad because, like I said, Jeff Dunham, again, love the guy. You know what I'm saying? The ventriloquist. He speak, and the city where he went to did not, over there in Saudi someplace, I could be wrong, but he went over there, and the government did not want him to bring out the dog. What's his name?
Ahmed, the dead terrorist.
Right.
My
He did
favorite
not
character.
want them to bring it out, and they said it was going to be some repercussion if he did. The whole auditorium was asking for,
Ahmed, the dead terrorist.
and he brought him out, and he was like, "Forget it. This is what these people want. It ain't about what the government want."
What
They
happened?
took it serious.
What
They
did
took
people
it serious because, again, Ahmed the dead terrorist.
I know. What happened to Jeff Dunham for doing it?
Oh, they took him off stage.
Oh,
He had to end the show.
oh.
You know, but that's
Even
nothing.
though it's what the people.
But the people wanted to hear
People wanted
Ahmed the dead terrorist
That dude is
because
hilarious.
Let's put that in perspective. It's the people that was within that setting that wanted that. Like, they don't speak for the whole entire country though.
no.
But the whole entire country wasn't in the auditorium either.
Right. But if you're using that as an example to say that, you know, comedians do this for that wouldn't bring laughter to someone who had a family member die of a suicide
And
bomber.
everybody
We
not
wouldn't
gonna
joke
laugh at the same thing. You know what I mean?
Right. But we can only go by numbers. We can't go to every single situation, every single person and say, how do you feel about this situation? We can only go by numbers, by group.
By the masses.
But we don't know the numbers.
Everybody who went to that auditorium to see that comedian knew about that comedian and was a fan. They probably didn't have anybody that died by a suicide bomber. That
But
probably
at the
didn't.
But you
affect
don't know
everything.
that. You
Right.
don't know that.
I said they probably.
But at the same
I'm using my
time,
words carefully.
he's still in that part of the world. He's in that country.
Right.
So Ahmed the dead terrorist could be, you know what I mean, offensive to anybody in that country. But by him being in that country, I ain't gonna say no black people or Americans was in that, but guaranteed majority of them was from wherever. Where'd you say he was at? Saudi.
I think
Arabia?
Saudi Arabia, someplace, or
so, I
in
mean,
the Arab area.
And you can't
Sorry,
make the
I don't
judgment.
mean
You
to
can't
say
make
it like
the
that.
judgment off that simply because, like, America itself is big. So if there's a comedian that only makes jokes about African Americans, and he decided that he wanted to do a show, and I'm not saying that this state is full of racists or anything. I'm just using this as an example. In South Carolina, and he sells out. That would be like somebody overseas saying, well, shoot, America must like racists because this is a racist comedian and he just
But
sold
we're
out the
not saying
auditorium.
that.
But
That's
that's
not-
exactly what you're saying.
No, it's
You're
not.
saying that
Those people wanted to hear him do jokes with that
in
puppet.
that auditorium, but they don't speak for that whole country.
But the whole country wasn't in that auditorium.
I know.
Hold on. If you telling me that dude in South Carolina over there saying the worst jokes in the world about blacks that I might not find funny, I'm not over there. I don't care what he's saying. I'm not in that auditorium. I didn't go see him. So because I don't like it, can he not do his shows? No. It's people that like him. It's racist comedians out here, I'm sure, that go to these and kill it. Just because we might not agree with it don't mean they can't do their show.
And then what I didn't say, that there was some important officials that was sitting right there in the front. And they enjoyed the show.
See, it seems like you making an argument that they are like that audience there is representing in the mood.
No, that's not what I'm
Then you
saying.
said elected
But what I'm
officials, like
saying,
that's-
no, don't put words in my mouth, because what I'm saying
said
is
officials, right?
that I'm gonna say exactly what I'm saying. And we talked about this before. That's just like back in the 80s. I'm sorry, 90s. In Living Colors was talking about gay people. Was talking about two tears swinging around, two tears
That was the
swirl.
number one show.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And they was talking about all that. Didn't nobody
People
say
that
nothing
didn't
to?
like it didn't watch it.
Didn't nobody say nothing to David Greer? Didn't nobody say nothing to Damon Wayans? Didn't nobody Keenan Wayans? And if they did, it did not make a
Jim
big
Carrey.
impact. Whereas that they took them off the air and they was told not to do it. It was laughter. It didn't mean nothing. I don't think too many gay people took it seriously, whereas that they called in and wanted it or it made news or anything like that. They talked about Jews. They talked about black people. It wasn't such a big thing. It's a joke. It's sometimes it was a tasteless joke, but all in all, it was funny. You know, you had some Asians, you had Jews on there, you had black people, you had Polish people on there. You know, so not even go there. Let's even go to the mainstream as well. Again, let's go to Saturday Night Live. Oh my God. Come on now. They had low blows out this world.
The point I'm trying to make is that the climate's changed. Like, it's not the same. Like, I know you want to go back to the 80s and say they've been doing this since the 80s.
No.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't fly now.
I disagree.
Fly. Like, it does.
Because
like, you can't
it's more sensitive now.
Right. The climate has changed. And then that's like, I think that's why I believe where we fail at. We look at certain things that used to work at a certain time, and then we try to bring that same exact format to this time, and it just is not going to work.
But we're not bringing it back to this time. We just basically changing up the game. We can't use everything that was done back in the 90s. We can only change up the game. The thing is it's more material. Let's be honest. It's a lot more material than it was back then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hell, and let's be honest. If Donald Trump, at being a damn president at the time, took everything offense, do you know what I mean? If people be locked up or put in on a black site, we wouldn't even hear from him seriously anymore. But it's called freedom of speech. You know what I'm saying? Very true. And you know, everybody decide they want to get sensitive. Don't get me wrong. I'm sensitive to anything and everything that's negative that's happening to any race, culture, anything. But I'm not finna sit here and get upset because this comedian decided he wanted a crack joke about an Asian woman, a gay guy, a black guy, a Jewish guy, a Polish guy. I'm not finna get offended about that. You know what I'm saying? If it's something negative, if I don't want to watch it,
click.
And I'm going to turn the channel. If you don't like it, get off it, stop watching it, don't look at it.
Facts. Just because people that like country music don't like rap music don't mean people got to stop rapping. You know what I mean? They just turn to their station. You know what I mean? If you don't want to hear it, if you don't like what he's saying, find your comedian that you like. Find your singer, your rapper, whoever it is that you like. You know what I mean? And it is what it is.
I don't like rap that much. So just because I'm black doesn't mean that I necessarily have to listen to it. I tease Cameron about rap all the time. But that's his music. That's what Cameron
I like all
listen
music.
to rap? I ain't know that. My bad. You always play the oldies when you come over here. My bad.
Hey, that's just me.
You know, him and his brother, back in the day, they love rap.
I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? But that just wasn't my forte. If I didn't want to listen to it, I joke with you guys. And if I didn't want to hear it, what I do? See ya.
Not when you're riding in the car.
You ain't lying. I just pissed the bitch about it. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, there's no knock against any type of race or anything. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we're all here. Everyone I think here feels the same way. When it comes down to anybody being done injustifully, I said it wrong, sorry. But if anybody's being done wrong, no, we don't get down with that. But as far as a joke, a comedian, anybody else, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it is what it is, you know? And that's just my opinion. That's all. You know, my opinion is not fact.
Right.
It's just my opinion.
And that's all of us. It's all our opinions. You know what I mean? And everyone has one. No one person's opinion should be stronger than another.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
You should value my opinion more than everybody else. For those who's out there.
But yeah, man. So,
Don't you believe it? And that goes for everybody out there, you guys. Just don't think we out here and we just don't care about anybody or any race, anything like that. You know, we we're very much caring for brothers from different mothers, and you know what I'm saying?
We love everybody.
Right.
Everybody
You know, and that's just the way it is. And
except
that's,
Green Bay. I'm just playing.
no, he ain't. He's serious because I'm right along with him. Hey, I'm jumping on his bandwagon with that one. Yeah, we don't care about Green Bay. No.
Green Bay in the house.
Anyway.
GB.
But yeah, man. I mean,
Don't worry about it. I'm going to edit that out in,
But yeah, man, we definitely want to invite all our viewers, all our listeners. Please comment. You know
Comment.
what I
We
mean?
read that.
Let
We
us
read
know.
it.
Yeah.
like, share, subscribe.
And we will do our best, you know what I mean, to address any comments with we would try to do all, but you know, we all long-winded, we all talk, so well except Cam. But you know, we'll
say
make
what
it
I
work.
say.
We'll,
They know who I am.
we'll make it work, y'all.
You know, hit us up at BFDM1522@gmail.com. We definitely will respond to you, all four of us.
They know.
I'm Todd.
I'm Cam.
It's your boy BK.
It's your boy. It's your boy Taz, man. We want to thank our special guests. We got Isaiah. We got Isaac. You back there pumping some iron back there. And we definitely want to give a special thanks out to Ron Burrell for coming through with us today, man. We appreciate all y'all. And hey, like we always say, man, I love you, BK.
All day long. You know I love you, Taz. I love you, C-No.
All day long. I love you, BK. I love you, Todd.
I got nothing but love for you, baby.
And you know, thank you. This has been Brothers from Different Mothers. Tune in to our next show. Other than that,
He's out.
we out of here.